Coming up on AgweekTV, rain doesn't seem to be dampening planting progress. New research is protecting farmers from potentially devastating cyber breaches. The Farm Bill makes progress in the U.S. House, but it's still far from passing. And helping farmers build high tunnels to extend growing season and grow more on less ground. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Emily Beal. Wet conditions have been making it hard for farmers to get into the field, but above average planting progress persists in the northern plains. Minnesota farmers have planted 89% of their corn, Iowa farmers are at 88%, North Dakota at 75%, and South Dakota at 84% for the week ending on May 26th. For soybeans, Minnesota is at 72% planted, Iowa at 73%, North Dakota at 52%, and South Dakota is at 58% planted. With precision agriculture technology becoming more and more advanced, how do farmers keep their equipment records safe from cybersecurity breaches? Ariana Schumacher takes us to Dakota State University for a closer look at farm technology research in this week's AgWeek cover story.
Students and researchers at Dakota State University are able to climb in the tractor seat and conduct research surrounding cybersecurity in farm equipment.
Security aspect of things is trying to just make sure that all of our devices, whether they're smart tractors or any sort of even like smart tablets or anything that farmers are using, are secure and safe and aren't leaking any information that they shouldn't be.
They are also looking at the impacts of artificial intelligence.
We're working on different projects of how to use AI in various aspects, whether that's gathering data so farmers can make better decisions, and ranchers, same thing, or they can also perhaps have higher yields, things of that nature, and then autonomous things, self-driving tractors, things along those lines.
The goal of this research is to make sure that our farm equipment is secure. They've joined forces with various industry partners, including AI Sweden, SDSU, and Case New Holland.
We want to make sure that really that nefarious agents, cyber hackers, attackers, or whoever, they're not able to gather information from these devices, but also so that they might not get in and then also take control any of these and even put bad information inside of that.
Cybersecurity breaches in farm equipment is something that has not been seen in the United States yet.
We haven't seen anything of that nature happen, but we are always wanting to stay a step ahead of that for sure. We know that, with the Ukraine conflict that's out there, we have seen Russia basically do different types of attacks on different infrastructure. And so we want to make sure that our infrastructure is a step ahead of that.
And there are ways that farmers right now can be proactive in protecting their equipment technology.
So the onboard computer systems they're going to have on their pieces of equipment, ensuring that they're updated and with the current specs on things. As with anything in computing, you're wanting to make sure things are up to date so that if there has been a known vulnerability that has emerged, that it's then updated with the patches that it needs to have.
In Madison, South Dakota, I'm Ariana Schumacher for AgWeek.
You can learn more about this research program in the next AgWeek magazine or at agweek.com. There's been some movement on the Farm Bill. The U.S. House Ag Committee passed its version of a $1.5 trillion farm spending bill. The Republican-led committee passed the bill with few Democratic votes because of some key differences. The House will have to be reconciled with a Senate bill led by Democrats. Former Minnesota Congressman Colin Peterson was House Ag Committee chair and involved in negotiating 4 farm bills. He now works in farm policy. He says without strong bipartisan support, the House version has a slim chance of becoming law. It expands commodity support, shrinks SNAP funding, and reallocates $20 million intended for climate-smart farm practices. Democrats in the House and Senate have said cuts to food aid and climate programs are red lines in negotiations.
The biggest thing that's been a problem from the start is that people want more money in the farm bill to spend on whatever it is they want to do. And they haven't been able to find that money, so they've come up with this way of doing it by restricting conservation, nutrition, and CCC, and that causes opposition from different quarters.
The 2018 Farm Bill expired on September 30th, 2023. It was extended until this September 30th. But Peterson says he doesn't think there will be a new bill before the upcoming election. In fact, he says some believe the Farm Bill will continue to be extended on a year-by-year basis for the next 5 years. High tunnels are becoming more common across the upper Midwest as farmer looks for ways to extend the growing season and increase yields. As Kennedy Tesh reports, South Dakota State University Extension is hosting workshops across the state to teach growers about building them.
Basically, everything grows better in a tunnel.
Dirk Oudman has been growing vegetables in high tunnels for 8 years. The longer growing season they give him means he can grow more on less land. He shared his experience and expertise with tunnels at this workshop held by SDSU Extension at its specialty crop research field.
Better moisture control, better sun. You get more heat units earlier in the year so you can grow crops faster, earlier. Crops are really sensitive to temperature and light.
They also protect crops from damaging elements like high winds.
The best way to learn how to build a high tunnel is to really show up in person and get your hands on a high tunnel.
Christine Lang is an assistant professor and SDSU Extension consumer horticulture specialist. She says these high tunnels are being used more and more for vegetable and flowers. They are less expensive to build than greenhouses and are different in that crops are planted right into the ground.
The number of vegetable farms has increased in the state, but we also know that those farms have actually gotten smaller on a per acre basis, which tells us that people are, downsizing their farms or growing more intensively or diversifying on those farms. And high tunnels can be another way to accomplish that.
These tunnels are also known as hoop houses, but whatever you call them, Lang says they can make sense for some growers.
So they really are a tool that can help improve farm profitability.
In Brookings, South Dakota, this is Kennedy Tesh for AgWeek.
For more information on these seminars, visit the SDSU Extension website. Up next on AgweekTV, an ag teacher known for inspiring her students gets a top honor.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
AgWeek Summer Cereal Grains Crop Tour is coming back July and August 2024. Follow along as we bring you an inside look at the crop conditions across the region with AgweekTV, AgWeek Magazine, online at agweek.com, and on social media. Contact your AgWeek rep or email ads@agweek.com for value pack sponsorship opportunities today and align your brand next to premier content on the AgWeek Cereal Grains Crop Tour this summer.
Power Rich Fertilizer is a leading provider of macro and micronutrient fertilizers customized for you. Our products, including granular and liquid foliars, are designed to enhance your crop's yield and disease resistance. We're here to help you get the most out of your crop with our incredible products. To learn more, call Steve Jerolimic at 701-799-2672. Discover the Power Rich difference. Contact us today.
Dream of owning North Dakota hunting land? People's Company and RE/MAX Now are auctioning 80 acres in Barnes County through an online-only auction, May 3rd through 7th, featuring grassland, a small pond, and 11 acres of cropland. This will be sold as one tract. Don't miss this amazing opportunity to own hunting land just 60 minutes from Fargo and 20 minutes from Valley City. Register and bid online at peoplescompany.com. That's peoplescompany.com. Your legacy starts here.
Add more bushels to your hopper and money to your pocket by harnessing the power of air with Crary Wind Systems. Whether your beans are chest high or barely off the ground, Crary offers two solutions that add a constant stream of high-velocity air to quickly feed crop back to the auger, eliminating bunching, reducing shatter loss, and increasing your ground speed. Don't let crop conditions dictate your yield. Check out the Crary Air Reel or Crary Wind System today.
There's a severe ag teacher shortage across the country, but South Dakota's Ag Educator of the Year works every day to inspire the next generation to teach ag. Kennedy Tesh introduces us to Tara Fastert.
I knew in high school that I wanted something to do with agriculture. I just had to figure out what it was going to be.
Tara Fastert was born and raised on a farm, but it was during the farm crisis, so she knew she wouldn't be farming. But she also knew she was going to stay in ag. That's what led her to a career as an ag teacher. And now, the Harrisburg teacher is South Dakota's Ag Educator of the Year. Fastert says she loves sharing her knowledge of ag, especially since most of her students don't come from a farm.
That's why I do this, because I want all students to have appreciation for what agriculture is and what farmers are doing for them.
Hallie Swenson says she was struggling in school and didn't know anything about ag when she landed in Fastert's Intro to Ag Mechanics class.
It was really out of my ballpark. I'd never really worked with tools or seen a table saw in real life.
Swenson says it was life-changing. She now plans to study ag education at SDSU, and she gives Fastert all the credit.
She saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, and she really pushed me to new heights, and I wanted her to get recognized for everything that she's done for not only me, but all of our students and all of our members.
Fastert says in her 10 years in Harrisburg, she's watched her program grow significantly. In fact, it's one of the fastest growing FFA chapters in the state. While she's happy to be honored for her work, she really loves seeing the excitement of her students when they achieve a goal.
And her team's excitement for her, and then they're already planning for next year that they all want to be up on stage. That's what motivates me to keep doing what I'm doing.
In Harrisburg, South Dakota, this is Kennedy Tesh for AgWeek.
Fastert received the honor at the state FFA convention in April. Equine therapy has been rising in popularity, but proper certification is needed in order to offer it. NDSU hosted a Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship certification workshop. PATH is an international agency that provides education for those who want to become certified in any form of therapeutic horsemanship. People attending this workshop are working on getting their certification as an equine specialist.
So the work that we're training individuals to do is really to be the equine advocate. So this is the person that really can make sure that the horse or the equine in the program is staying safe, and that all of the interactions with the equine are safe. So with that being said, it's important to have training in how to do that and how to help facilitate safe activities between participants and the equines.
For NDSU students, this is a great opportunity to get certified right on campus.
It's amazing because this is the only one in this area within hours, so being able to just come to campus has been super duper great.
The workshop was a 3-day event, all held on NDSU campus. Ahead on AgweekTV, a new CEO is taking over the family business.
Do you have nutrient deficiency issues? We can help. Let's talk.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Do you have nutrient deficiency issues? Use AquaYield nanotechnology.
The nanotechnology is able to get in the plant quicker and faster. We apply it a couple different times throughout the year, depending on which crop it is. It's used, like I say, in spring. We use it in furrow with the sugar beets. We apply some of it as a foliar late season in the sugar beet harvest. We apply it as a foliar and as in furrow with the beans too, so it can be used spring, fall, late fall. We've used it all the seasons.
Let's talk. Visit us at EricssonCustomOperations.com.
Integrity, excellence, teamwork. At Titan Machinery, we take care of our team. Whether you are an experienced technician or looking to start your career, Titan has a spot for you. Earn a competitive pay with the potential to make in excess of 6 figures. Service techs, come grow with a company that invests in you. Titan Machinery offers company HSA and 401k contributions, free single healthcare, and a generous tool allowance. Plus, we'll provide all of your uniform and safety gear. Apply today at titanmachinery.com/careers.
At Vaderstad, we're partnering with North American farmers to create the perfect emergence. We're doing this with new and innovative tillage, planting, and seeding solutions, optimized for the field conditions that you face, and with industry-leading capacities to help you get the job done in short windows of time, so you can maximize yields. Vaderstad, we look forward to growing together.
You got salty soils? We can help. Let's talk. AgWeek Weather is sponsored by Bremer Bank. Connect with a banker today at bremer.com.
What does the month of June have in store for us when it comes to the weather? Here's John with our AgriWeather Outlook.
June is finally here, and the first real heat wave of summer is beginning to start to show up. Looks like the first period or space of hotter than average weather consistently is going to be setting up over the Rocky Mountains, and we'll take a look at that in just a minute. Where are the stormy pattern? Well, with that heat wave dome over the Rocky Mountains, that's going to put a lot of the northern plains, upper Midwest in what we call northwest flow. And that may bring a few storms, but maybe not consistent storms. I'll show you what I mean by that. And the dry weather will be under that dome of hottest air. Now, it's a fairly early heat wave. I don't expect anything to be truly exceptional. But what we've seen is some troughing here in the northern Rockies, and a fairly cool spring so far is about to be replaced by some warmer weather as we go through this week. Primary polar jet stream going basically west to east with a little bit of a twitch there in the middle of it. That's going to allow temperatures to be relatively warm into the northern plains, upper Midwest, and across the Corn Belt for much of this week. By warm, of course, this time of year we're talking 70s and 80s. Nothing unusually warm out of that. The hot weather, going to see a lot of 90s. That's going to be mostly down south. Then around the second half of the week, that's going to start getting pulled northward as this beginning of the heat wave dome begins to build up in the Rockies, and I'm talking about this area. Now, as I said, it's fairly early in the month of June here, so this is not going to be like 110 degrees in Utah or anything like that. It's just going to be warmer than average, but I think we're going to see some fairly rapid high-altitude snow melt in this pattern, and we're also going to see at least a narrow region of temperatures that get up to around 90 or into the 90s, getting up into the high plains, not necessarily the Great Plains in general. By the end of the week, that jet stream will be going pretty far north, but for much of the northern plains Corn Belt, it's still northwest flow. Northwest flow diving down into a warmer air mass can yield a few thunderstorms. So this first week, I think there will be a few rounds of strong thunderstorms in some parts of the northern plains and upper Midwest. But as we go through the week, next week, now we're talking the second full week of June, starting to see a little bit of a trough of low pressure getting carved out of the northern Rockies. So we're not going to see this first wave of warm weather last too long, though in general, the western United States for the first half of June do look warmer than average. The only real consistently hot weather will be down south where it belongs. Weather pattern this week for precipitation, showers and thunderstorms, northern plains through the Great Lakes states and down into the southern plains, and a few showers in the Pacific Northwest. Rockies mostly dry. The second week still looking mostly dry in the Rockies. I think we'll dry things out. A few scattered storms in the northern plains, but not as many the second week of June as during the first.
It was October 1st, 2009. We needed some machinery for the farm. We decided to see if we could become a dealer, and that's kind of grown into what it's been today.
We offer basically anything short line. Seed tenders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers. We can really set ourselves apart by the knowledge we have in those things, by the amount of units we have on hand at all times.
I just have a passion for helping people, getting to know people. It just becomes a lot of fun.
I like working for NRCS in Minnesota because every day is different. We get to work with a diverse group of farmers and ranchers. I get to work with a lot of unique individuals, different employees within NRCS. We have agronomists, foresters, range conservationists, soil conservation technicians, and we are all dedicated to the job of conservation.
NRCS in Minnesota is a great place
to work.
AgWeek Summer Cereal Grains Crop Tour is coming back July and August 2024. Follow along as we bring you an inside look at the crop conditions across the region with AgweekTV, AgWeek Magazine, online at agweek.com, and on social media. Contact your AgWeek rep or email ads@agweek.com for value pack sponsorship opportunities today and align your brand next to premier content on the AgWeek Cereal Grains Crop Tour this summer.
When it comes to grain storage and handling solutions, one call does it all. Gateway Building Systems is one of the largest Brock bin dealers in the U.S. Our expert team is dedicated to creating a customized plan for your future success. Expanding your operation has never been easier with our range of Brock solid bins, grain dryers, conveyors, and more. As your trusted partner, we are committed to serving the needs of farmers. Take the first step toward success and call Gateway Building Systems today.
Attention farmers, increase your revenue and prevent compaction from squeezing your profits with PTG's Central Tire Inflation System, now offered at OK Tire and Service. All controlled from the tips of your fingers, ensuring increased yield and improved fuel economy by adjusting your tire pressure within minutes. You are ensuring the best performance from your tractor on the field and off the field, compatible with any radial tire. Call the OK Tire team today or visit oktireinc.com to learn more.
Last week, I traveled to Sweden and met with Vaderstad, a family-owned company that has been making farm machinery since the 1960s. I met with Henrik Gillstring, who is now the CEO of Vaderstad and the third generation to take over the company.
Henrik, you became CEO in recent years. Tell me about your journey with that.
So I started at the company 12 years ago. I have a background within finance and accounting. I started as a business controller. Did that for about 6 years, working together with different parts of the company, different departments. So I think it was a really good way of getting into the business. And then I joined the group management team about 6 years ago, working more with product management, business development activities. I was also very involved in the acquisition we did in the US.
Tell me about some of your technology out in the field.
So one technology that is, the most important one for us still in North America is the Seedhawk air seeder. The opener system was a brilliant innovation when it first came out, and it's still extremely appreciated by many farmers in Canada, but also in some other places like Australia, for example. We've sold some machines in the US.
Being the new CEO, where do you see the company in the next 5 to 10 years?
So innovation has always been important for us. It's how we've entered into new product types, into new product segments. So we will certainly continue to work on that. And there's a lot of interesting things going on currently within digitalization, IoT, and smart farming solutions. So that's certainly something we're focusing on. I see us growing really in all our markets because current markets are really important with additional offerings. But specifically, if I'm going to mention a certain market, it's yet again the US where we focus a lot of our efforts.
Well, I know I look forward to seeing you guys grow in the US market. Thank you so much for hosting us in the beautiful Sweden.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming.
Up next on AgweekTV, honoring 400 years of dairy cattle as our Women in Ag series continues.
You got salty soils? We can help. Let's talk.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Do you have salty fields? Try Calcine.
We've been putting it on some of our worst spots, and every year you see more bushels, greener crop, healthier crop. Some land down by the river that almost had to take out of production. We've been able to use Calcine and bring it back to equal to the rest of the fields. Calcine mixes with basically anything. We put it down with our starter fertilizer. We've mixed it with herbicides. We've applied it broadcast. We've applied it banded. So it's worked in pretty much any capacity, and there's no volatility issues. So it's a very easy to use product.
Let's talk. Visit us at EricssonCustomOperations.com.
It was October 1st, 2009. We needed some machinery for the farm. We decided to see if we could become a dealer, and that's kind of grown into what it's been today.
We offer basically anything short line. Seed tenders, fertilizer spreaders, sprayers. We can really set ourselves apart by the knowledge we have in those things, by the amount of units we have on hand at all times.
I just have a passion for helping people, getting to know people. It just becomes a lot of fun.
Add more bushels to your hopper and money to your pocket by harnessing the power of air with Crary Wind Systems. Whether your beans are chest high or barely off the ground, Crary offers two solutions that add a constant stream of high-velocity air to quickly feed crop back to the auger, eliminating bunching, reducing shatter loss, and increasing your ground speed. Don't let crop conditions dictate your yield. Check out the Crary Air Reel or Crary Wind System today.
Do you have nutrient deficiency issues? We can help. Let's talk.
AgWeek's Women in Ag series is sponsored by USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service of Minnesota, Peterson Farm Seed, Minnesota Farm Bureau, and Minnesota Soybean Research and Promotional Council.
Our Women in Ag series continues with someone who is bringing attention to dairy cows and FFA in Minnesota. Kaden Spearman decided to honor the 400th anniversary of dairy cattle arriving at Plymouth Colony in 1624. She just graduated from Triton High School in Dodge Center, Minnesota, and each senior is required to do a project. She also wanted to honor FFA, which has been a big part of her life. Her advisor suggested she organize a dairy show. It's open to all Minnesota FFA members. Spearman says putting on the show has been more work than she expected, but she's happy she did it.
I have a passion for the dairy industry, love to give back to it. It's given so much to me, and I have a passion for FFA, so I was like, why not do two things at once and make it big?
The show is June 6th and 7th at the Dodge County Fairgrounds in Kaysen. Spearman is heading to NDSU in the fall, where she plans to major in animal science. Stories you'll only see on AgWeek.com and in AgWeek magazine this week. Minnesota farm groups talk positives and negatives of the 2024 Minnesota legislative session. And Iowa's first 2024 case of highly pathogenic avian influenza impacted 4.2 million chickens. We appreciate you watching AgweekTV. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a wonderful week, everyone.